Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video this afternoon I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfers and that. So this is now your transfer daily show, because like I said on recent videos, I think I mentioned it to you guys yesterday. It will be either every day until the end of this month, or it will be most days. I will be giving you my transfer daily shows. So there is actually quite lots to talk about on this video. As you all know, Manchester United have got a lot of players on their agenda. Obviously we recommended 3 players in last summer. We spent nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire, of course. But, the two main priority areas where I think Manchester United need to strengthen up, we do need a couple of midfielders. Because obviously, now Paul Pogba is yet again out with injury. He's out with an ankle injury, is Paul Pogba. And Solskjaer did say, this is stemming from Solskjaer, he said that Paul Pogba has been told to have surgery on his foot. And reportedly Solskjaer confirmed that he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks with this injury and that. But I think, Paul Pogba is one of the players that, needs to leave Manchester United. I'm actually sceptical that he will leave this month, because Solskjaer said he won't be sold in January. But I think, he will leave the club this summer if he doesn't leave this month and that. And Paul probably, recently, just recovered from an ankle injury, because he was out for around 3 months and that. But I just feel as though that Paul probably, doesn't want to be at the football club, and he has, missed the vast majority of our games this season. You've also had his agent Mini Raiola coming out and criticising the football club. But Paul Pogba, didn't travel, to London with the rest of the squad, for the Arsenal game. He also didn't travel with the rest of the squad for the Burnley game. But he actually, came on as a substitute against Watford and Newcastle and that. So I just don't really understand it. But like I said, whether Paul Pogba stays or goes anyway, we've still got to address that midfield. You've got McTominay, he's another one. He's out until February with a knee injury. Solskjaer confirmed that he's got ligament damage in his current knee. McTominay not too long ago had recovered from an ankle injury, and like I said, he's been a revelation this season. He has been a regular starter, but he has deserved to keep his place in the team, reflecting on his good run of performances and that. So now we've definitely got to address that midfield. That they're both out with injury, and obviously Matic is too inconsistent. He's too easily predictable in that midfield. Fred, I think he can play well, but there's still a lot of aspects of his game that I do need to currently prove in that. So Solskjaer, wants to bring 2 midfielders to the football club in this January transfer window, especially reflecting on the 2-0 defeat to Arsenal yesterday night. So I've just been reading recent reports and that, and it does say Manchester United are considering moves for Caen Longstaff from Newcastle and Emre Can from Juventus. So there's a lot of speculation going on about that just now. And, Caen Longstaff, Man United have been long admirers of him. Don't forget we was in for Caen Longstaff last summer. We was actually, relentlessly, linked with him. And Solskjaer was keen on recommending him in to the football club. But the reason why we didn't get Caen Longstaff is because, Newcastle, I think, from my own perception, were demanding, too much money for him. Newcastle wanted in the excess of around, £50 million. Man United were not willing to meet that. I think we was determined to pay up to around 30 to 35 million pounds for him. Caen Longstaff is well proven in the Premier League. I think he's flourishing under Steve Bruce's guidance. I think he also did well, when he played under Rafael Benitez. Rafael Benitez did resign. He did resign last summer, did Rafael Benitez and that. But do you think Caen Longstaff would be the right calibre player for Manchester United? Only very, very young, 22 years of age, and obviously, Solskjaer does want to continue the policy of recruiting young players in to the football club. He is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder in that. In the Premier League, Caen Longstaff, I think, has made around 23 appearances. I think around 25 appearances in all competitions, and I think he's under contract with Newcastle until 2022. So, like I said, we have been relentlessly, linked with him. But if we are determined to pay £50 million for him, then maybe it will convince Newcastle to currently offload him. So, yeah, we reportedly we are in for Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff also had loan spells with Kilmarnock and Blackpool and that, but he has spent the majority of his career with Newcastle. He only made his senior debut, back in 2016? Well, he joined their youth setup in 2016, did Sean Longstaff. So he's one player now on our agenda. Like I said, the second one is Emre Can from Juventus. Now, Emre Can has endured a really difficult time, since his arrival in Turin. I think this season he's only played 272 minutes of football. So since Maurizio Sarri got recommended in, he has found himself surplus to requirements. Now, I can't estimate how much Emre Can would cost Man United. Juventus obviously got him on a free transfer back in 2018 from Liverpool. Because Emre Can did endure for good years with Liverpool. Also in the past he has played for Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, was at Bayern Munich for several years, where he actually began his career. He's nearly in his mid-20s. He's 25 years of age, so he's actually now nearly in his prime. He is predominantly a central midfielder. Is Emre Can, but he's a very, very versatile player. He can play in numerous positions. He can play as a central mid, a defensive midfielder. He can also operate as a full-back, and he can also play as a centre-half. But I think his predominant position is that central midfield area. So maybe it would be beneficial to recommend Emre Can in. Don't forget he has already played in the Premier League, so he's proven in the Premier League. So maybe it would be beneficial if he was to make a return to the Premier League. So yeah, so that's the latest news regarding them two. There's also quite a few other midfielders on our agenda. Now, obviously, Saul Niguez, there's also been a lot of speculation regarding him, Saul Niguez. Allegedly, Man United have been interested in him since 2015, Saul Niguez. He's 25 years of age. Saul Niguez, of course, has never ever played in the Premier League. I think he's done really well for Atletico Madrid, but these question marks, if he came to the Premier League, can he replicate, what he's been doing in Spain with Atletico Madrid? But like I said, he's been there several years. He's spent the majority of his career there, and he's gone to make over 250 appearances for Atletico Madrid in all competitions. I do presume if we do go in for him, he's going to cost the club a substantial amount of money. So obviously the likes of probably Longstaff and Can, would be a cheaper solution. I think his initial release clause is around £128 million. Saul Niguez, £128 million. That is a substantial amount. He has got a long-term contract with Atletico Madrid. I think he's still under contract with them until 2026. So he's still got around, 6 years left on his contract. He initially signed a new 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid a couple of years ago. He can operate as a central or a defensive midfielder. So he's another one on our agenda. The other midfielder is James Maddison. Now, Man United have also been relentlessly linked with him. I was reading reports the other week, and it did actually say that James Maddison was in negotiations with Leicester over signing a new long-term contract, and reportedly it says the talks had currently stalled. James Maddison is under contract with Leicester until 2023, so he has still got around 3 years left on his current contract, or maybe just a bit longer than 3 years. Allegedly, we've been in for James Maddison since June. I was reading reports not too long ago, and it said, we are planning to put around an £80 million bid in for James Maddison. I did say we're going to have to probably pay a substantial amount to convince Leicester to offload him anywhere, because Leicester know how much an imperative player he is. And, we already did business with Leicester during the course of the summer. You know, we got Harry Maguire for around £80 million, so we're going to have to pay a similar fee or the exact same fee, you know, to convince Leicester to offload him. I think James Maddison would be the right calibre player for Man United. He's predominantly an attacking midfielder. Brendan Rodgers quite a lot of times has played him out on the left. He is only the age of 23, and he's for Leicester. I think he's made 60 appearances in all competitions. For Leicester, 56 of his appearances have come in the Premier League, and four of his appearances have come in the League Cup. Leicester only paid around £20 million in from Norwich in the summer of 2018. Obviously, before he was at Norwich, he had a loan spell in Scotland with Aberdeen. He also played for Coventry. He actually, began his career with Coventry, but I think quite a few clubs have attracted their interest in James Maddison. But gotta say, he's been absolutely exceptional for Leicester. I think this season he's replicating, what he did in his debut season with Leicester, because, he created more chances than any other player in the Premier League, last season. So these are all the midfielders on our agenda, who could replace Paul Pogba at the football club, And there's also not only midfielders on our agenda, these are quite a few attackers on our agenda, because you can say since the departures of Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, we have looked very exposed in that attacking line, and that, we definitely, we definitely have. Obviously we know Martial, Rashford and James have obviously, been in scintillating form. Obviously they wasn't so good yesterday, but I think prior to that, they have done well for the vast majority of this season. But for me, we still need to add more experience in that attacking line. So as you all know, according to the mainstream media, recently there has been a lot of speculation regarding Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton. Now, obviously, Man United are seeing him as an alternative to Erling Haaland, because as you all know, we have missed out on Erling Haaland. He was our number one priority target, and at one point it was looking very imminent. He was going to be our first signing in this January window, and he was going to be our fourth signing overall under the Mulligan and Solskjaer era. But obviously we was emerged as the favourites not too long ago. Then also Juventus were emerged as the favourites, but it's been officially confirmed that he's joined Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund have paid around £18 million for him, or is it 17? That was his initial release clause, and he signed a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024. So yeah, we have missed out on Erling Haaland. It's a shame, because I think he would have been the right calibre player for Man United. Also, the beneficial thing would have been that he's played under Mulligan and Solskjaer's guidance during his period with Mould, and Solskjaer, of course, was keen on a reunion with the player. And again, Erling Haaland would have been a much cheaper solution, than Dominic Calvert-Lewin and, Jadon Sancho and all that, because, he was available for 17-18 million pounds. So we've missed out on him. So reportedly, if we had to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin in, he would cost Man United around £50 million, because this is what Everton do rate him at now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think now is into his fourth season with Everton. In total for Everton in the Premier League, he has made 97 appearances and scored around 19 goals. And I think in total, in all competitions, he has made around, 112, 113 appearances and scored nearly 30 goals for Everton. He is only 22 years of age. I was reading Sky Sports, was it yesterday or the day before, and they actually said that Everton have been in negotiations over getting Dominic Calvert-Lewin a new long-term contract at Everton. I think Everton are willing to offer him around a 5-year contract, reflecting on his good run of performances. And I think it did say Everton are set to give him a pay rise of around £70,000, reflecting on his good run performances. He scored, I think, around 3 goals in his last 2 games. He's flourishing under Carlo Ancelotti's guidance. But, do you think he would be the right calibre player for Man United? Again, well proven in the Premier League, emulated himself up over the years, And Everton only paid around 1.5 million. They only paid 1.5 million for him from Sheffield United, because he actually, began his career with Sheffield United. He was in their youth academy for quite a lot of years. He also had loan spells with Bridge Celtic. He had a loan spell with Northampton Town, you know. But, do you think he would be the right player for Man United and that? So there has been a lot of speculation going on about that in the last couple of days. There's still a lot of talks going on regarding Jadon Sancho. Now, I'm sceptical that Man United will get Jadon Sancho. I've got the same perception on Sancho, but I've got of what I've got of Dominic Calvin-Lewin. I can't see Calvin-Lewin coming in, even if we had to pay that 50 million, because maybe he's going to sign this new long-term contract here with Everton. We've been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. We've been long admirers of him. We was in for him back in the last January transfer window, January 2018, that is. We was in for him. January 2019, sorry. January 2019, we was in for him and that. But our move got skewed for Jadon Sancho, with our failure to qualify for the Champions League. So this is why we didn't get him. He's going to cost a substantial amount, whatever team does get him. I think either way, whether he comes to Man United or not, I still think, it's looking very imminent. He's going to be leaving Borussia Dortmund and that. And now Borussia Dortmund are determined to offload him, with obviously, them signing Erling Haaland and that. They've got to get rid of maybe one or two players at Dortmund so Erling Haaland can get in the team and he can get first team football week in, week out and that. Chelsea reportedly emerged as the favourites to get Sancho. Liverpool have also, been in for him. Liverpool have already signed somebody. This is before the January transfer window open. They signed Takumi Minamino, how he pronounced his name, for just over £7 million. They got him from Red Bull Salzburg. I think he will be making his debut for Liverpool in their FA Cup game at the weekend against Everton. I don't think he's going to be making his debut tonight in their game against Sheffield United. But Sancho, like I said, I think he'd be the right player for Man United, and I would be excited about the prospect of him, playing alongside the likes of Rashford, Daniel James and Anthony Martial. I think he'd complement them, really, really well. But this season, Jadon Sancho's been service to requirements. He's been dropped in a lot of games. I just don't think he feels satisfied. He's under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, so he's still got around, 2 years left on his contract, or is it just a bit longer? But he's been good in the couple of years he's been there prior to this season. This is why his valuation has persistently grown, because Borussia Dortmund only paid around £7 or £8 million for him from Man City. He enjoyed a couple of years with Man City, but never got assured first team opportunity. So this is the main factor reason why I left City to join Borussia Dortmund. And he is, I think, only 19, or is he 20 now? He's predominantly a right winger, but you can also play him centrally. So these are all the players I've just said to you. They're all the players on our current agenda and that. But I don't only think, we need to see more incomings at Manchester United. I think we also need to see more outgoings, like I've said on my recent videos. I think, we still need to get rid of another 4 or 5 more players. I know a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival anywhere. I think we need to see a variety of changes at the football club as well. We need to get rid of our board, because our board have been a liability for several years. I think we also need to get rid of Ed Woodward. We also need to get rid of the coaching staff. We need to get the Glazers out. And of course, we need a change of management. We definitely need a change of management, because Solskjaer isn't the long-term solution for Manchester United. I'm very sceptical that Man United will sack him at this present time. Like I said, the club are determined to back him this month. The club are also determined to back him in the summer. So I can assure he will be here at the end of the season. But I'm very sceptical that Solskjaer will see out his 3-year contract at the football club. Solskjaer has now been at Manchester United for over a year. And he's nearly, I think he's been permanent manager now nearly for around 10 months. And obviously, analysing the vast majority of that 10-month period, he's endured a very difficult time. We've had some good periods here and there where we've played well, and there's been a lot of good individual performances, but we've just struggled to keep that consistency up. We do seem to react to bad results, but we just can't keep that consistency up. And somewhere along the line, we've got to find that consistency, to keep our top 4 hopes alive. We're still definitely in the race for the top 4. despite the 2-0 defeat to Arsenal yesterday night. You know, with what, 5 points behind Chelsea. You know, if we'd have beaten Arsenal, would have only been 2 points behind. You know, but there's quite a few teams in that top four race. But we need top four this season. If we don't get top four, we need to get some silverware on the board, because we have lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. So Solskjaer recently spoken about the importance of us lifting silverware. You know, definitely in that. And we can win the Carabao Cup, and we can win the Europa League. So take that into account. You know, Solskjaer did say, you know, that he expects a successful, you know, 2020 with Man United, and that this is what, you know, he does expect. We've obviously enjoyed a bad start to 2020, you know, with that 1-0, 2-0 defeat to Arsenal. But we need to enjoy a better year this year than what we, you know, saw for the vast majority of last year. And Solskjaer is aware that he's still got many expectations to exceed at Manchester United and that. But from my own perception, I just feel as though that the expectations are too high for him at the football club and that. You know, but I'm still going to be willing to back him all the way. You know, I'm still willing to back him all the way and that. And, you know, like I said, we'll never forget what he's done for the club, because he was a great player for Man United for 11 years, you know. But I just think as a manager, he's totally a comparison to how he was as a player. You know, he's just not good enough for Manchester United. And, you know, I think we need to get Mauricio Pochettino in. I think he's a likely candidate if Solskjaer, you know, is to be sacked. Obviously, Pochettino is managerless at the moment. You know, if Pochettino was to come in, he would be our 5th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era and that. And you've got a lot of Manchester United fans now demanding Mauricio Pochettino in. You know, we'd have beaten Arsenal. That would have been 3. That would have been 3 wins in a row in the Premier League, because we was in a good run of form. You know, prior to the Arsenal game, we'd had back-to-back Premier League wins against Newcastle and Burnley. But, you know, I thought the performance against Arsenal was totally comparison to them 2 games. And something else that's got to improve our away form, because our away form's been poor this season. We've only won 3 away from home in the Premier League, you know, this season. And if we'd have beaten Arsenal, you know, we'd have been 10 points now in front of them. And, you know, that would have, you know, probably disregarded them of getting that top 4. They are still quite a lot of points behind Chelsea. Is it around 8 or 9? You know, but I think, you know, Arsenal now should start getting quite a lot of wins behind them and that, because I've got to say Arsenal have seemed to rejuvenate themselves since Mikel Arteta, you know, taken over. He's only managed 3 games so far. You know, obviously that was his first win yesterday as Arsenal manager. But, you know, I've seen a variety of changes since Arteta came in. You know, I know they didn't beat Bournemouth and they didn't beat Chelsea. But I've got to say they were very, very unlucky in that game against Chelsea and that. But, you know, I think he'll do well with them. You know, Arteta obviously hasn't really got any, you know, he hasn't got any managerial experience, but that doesn't mean he won't succeed at Arsenal. I'm sceptical that he's the right man for them. I don't think he's a long-term solution for Arsenal. You know, he may have learned a few tips off Pep Guardiola, because he did work alongside Pep Guardiola for 3 years at Man City as a coaching assistant, don't forget. And yeah, and obviously he'll probably want to make more investment in the Arsenal squad. He'll also probably orchestrate on getting rid of more players at Arsenal. But yeah, it was a very, very disappointing result for us. You know, that's our 6th defeat in the Premier League, you know, this season. We're 21 games now into the Premier League season, and we've registered 31 points from 20 Premier League games, 21 Premier League games, and we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards in that, you know. And Solskjaer's team selections are getting very questionable. You know, he shouldn't have started Luke Shaw yesterday. Brandon Williams should have played over him. You know, Lingard, maybe Pereira should have played over him. You know, I thought Fred and Matic, you know, were dreadful in that midfield. I don't think Matic should have even played, you know. And I think Solskjaer needs to go with a different formation, because I think he's been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation far too much this season. And for the vast majority of this season, that 4-2-3-1 formation hasn't really been working out, and it hasn't really suited our standards. Maybe we should revert back to 3 at the back, or maybe we should, you know, go with a 4-3-3. I do not know. But we've had some good games this season. We've done well against elite opposition, like I said. You know, we've done well against the top teams, but we just haven't really replicated that against their lower opposition. So we've got to do better against their lower opposition. You know, games are coming up thick and fast for us now. Wolves is coming up on Saturday in the FA Cup third round. You know, City coming up in the Carabao Cup first leg. Liverpool coming up as well, so games are coming up thick and fast for Man United, and there's more element of concerns now because more injuries are starting to occur, as they were just all more or less coming back. You know, more injuries are occurring, and we've had a lot of injuries, you know, this season anyway, you know. But we've got to sign at least 2 players in this January transfer window, definitely. Our recruitment's got to improve anyway, because our recruitment's been poor for several years. And in that aspect, the blame does stem from the board and that, you know. But it's definitely got to improve as our recruitment. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. That's your transfer daily update. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.